fear stays with you. You feel fear and intimidated for a longer time. कि किसी को भी कुछ
Yes, those
बोलना
images don't leave you, you know, and there are many of those images in my mind. And there was another girl next to my house whose father was a very dear friend of my father. She came to my house along with her elder sister and her mom, and she told me that she'd never been outside her own house, that even whatever education she gets is from a Maulvi who comes to her house and who teaches her in the presence of her brothers and her mother. The only time she'd stepped out of a dark house was when her sister got married. And I asked her, what did it feel like? And she says, yours is the second house I'm coming to. And I was very upset and emotional. But I wanted to hug her, you know, because it was just so unfair.
But what gave you the courage?
I felt so happy. No, Uncle, I felt so happy that my dad sent me to school, you know.
How did you know if I can fight it, I won't be prisoned again? I won't be locked in the room or slapped. How did you have that courage?
So you have to choose your battles. You know, you could never fight when I was young to go to parties, to dress up a certain way. I knew that it has to be a smart, solid strategy. It can't be about dressing up and wearing jeans. It has to be about wanting to study more. So I made sure I did well in my studies. There was no excuse. I was the head girl, as you know. I did extremely well in my 12th exams, my boards. I think my average percentage was 92. I maxed English and Eco and Pol Science. There was no excuse that, you know, we'll just send you off either to a legal university and then you get married. So I just did not want to give them an excuse, you know.
So every time you had to plan something,
I kept pushing myself. It was so much pressure. You know, things people just take for granted.
You could not live like a simple girl who easily gets to sway through her life. You had to keep planning.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a very easy life also, because you never know. You could meet a very caring, wonderful man, yes. And there are many of those who look after you, and you know, you don't have to work, and it's all right. That's also a choice.
But that's very rare.
I'm not. Yeah, well, that is very rare. And I just said, no, I can't do this. You know, I should liberate myself and many others. And all my life, and I'm so much older now, and I want to liberate that little Shazia who felt so helpless. And there are many Shazias out there. So you always have to come to the rescue of the little girl trapped somewhere.
What was that first moment of liberation, Shazia, was getting into journalism, when you were on Star News, when you were leading from the front? Did you see that liberation in your parents' eyes, or a guilt, or anything that you felt?
I think it was just like when I became the head girl of my school. I never expected it, you know, and that just meant something. Apparently, I was in St. Mary's Convent, Kanpur, and apparently I was the first.
Jamia.
Yeah, I was a topper in Jamia too, and I was also the youngest student. Because the minimum age has to be 21. I was 19 and a half when I got into Jamia in my mass comm program, because
wow.
I was ahead of my class always. I was in such a hurry. That's what
for your time was always running out.
I was like, for me, time was always running out. There was so much to do. You don't know how much I packed in, Anku. I cannot tell you what all I do. I mean, I've led like not just a complete life, but many lives, you know. It's like so many lives packed in my one life.
हम बात कर रहे हैं स्लम डॉग मिलियनेयर की, और हमारे साथ हैं इस वक्त जाने माने ब्रिटिश डायरेक्टर डैनी बॉयल, पूरी कास्ट के साथ, जिन्हें से हमने बताया करोड़ों का सम्मान मिल चुका है. आगे क्या होना है देखने वाली बात है. The international audiences have lapped up your film. What do you expect from India now?
Well, it would be lovely if the film worked here. We've been very privileged. We've opened the film in America. We've opened the film in Britain, where Deb and I come from. And so the final part of the Great Triangle is for the film to open in India. It'd be wonderful if it played here in theatres. That would be the icing on the cake. Better than awards, anything would be that, really.
So you had no time to sit and think and do anything. You just like, I have to do it now.
No, I'm always thinking, you see, whatever I'm doing, I'm always thinking. I have a hyperactive brain. So even when I'm sleeping, I'm thinking, which doesn't allow me to ever relax. So I'm here, but I'm thinking of what I have to do next.
How difficult was that journey to find your place in journalism?
Very tough, you know, because
being a pretty girl and an outgoing, intelligent woman is accepted.
I don't know what being pretty, but you know, people make comments on your face all the time. They don't want to see that you're a topper from Jamia, that you've always been
they don't take your knowledge and intelligence for seriously.
Yeah, that becomes such an issue.